According to Vedanta, there are only just two, signs of enlightenment. The first one is that you stop worrying. And the second one is that you experience synchronicity, an upsurge of meaningful coincidence within your life. Now, that's what I do. I help primarily women connect with themselves to a carefree life and experience a surge of synchronicity. When I was 4, I actually had that activation in my own life. I mean, it's not something you go and learn at school. You don't get a GCSE in activating synchronicity. But when I was 4, I came across some tarot cards, living, they were kind of sprawled out on the lounge floor. And something struck me, and from that moment on, strange things used to happen. Weird things used to happen. And the dictionary definition for the word weird actually just means connected to fate. One of the things that happened was when I was first at infant school and I painted a picture, and being 4, it was quite a weird, wacky picture. Had like a long-haired tiger rabbit thing in a pool and a massive yellow snake wrapped around a miniature palm tree and an orange and green sun. And my mother saw it on the wall when my teacher said, "Come in and have a look at it." And my mother's face went completely white. And she said, "Miss Buckingham, what is the problem?" And she said, "I painted the same picture when I was 4. It won an art competition." So on went my life like that. I just thought I painted a pretty little picture, but to everyone else, I was a weird, freaky little child that strange things used to happen to. And that's how I ended up seeing myself. I was this odd person that odd things happened to. I wasn't able to see that it was my own supernatural nature that made that come about. So that's what I'm going to talk about to you today, is your own supernatural nature. Because if we look at the word supernatural, that's just what it is. That's all it is supernatural. So I learned the hard way. I dabbled in esoteric ancient arts, particularly the tarot, and I saw some very strong things, culminating when I was 19 and I was pregnant, and I saw that I was going to lose my child. And I thought, if I just ignored that I'd seen that, it wouldn't happen. So I didn't tell anybody, and I just shut the cards away, and I vowed never to touch them again. I thought it just wouldn't happen if I denied it. When my daughter was 4 months old, she passed to the spirit world. And then I thought, okay, I might as well tell people. What have I got to lose? And instead of people saying, "Well, don't do that again," they started saying, "Would you read for me?" And I thought, okay, if I've seen everything I have, then maybe there's a way I can work with this to empower others, to understand that it's a mirror and not be in fear of prediction. So I studied it properly, and I opened a shop in London, and my first poster said, "Readings, information comes just from the cards. It doesn't come from me. It's nothing to do with me." And one of my newest friends walked in and just laughed so hard. And he said, "Oh yes, Tiffany, you are not psychic, are you?" And he took me under his wing, and he showed me that when you experience synchronicity on the outside, it is not removed from you. It is connected to you on the inside. It's a mirror of your own supernatural nature. And so, on went my career, and now in the UK, I have written books and I've turned them onto online programs in helping women to develop their own supernatural nature. And why is it primarily women? It's primarily women because if we look at the esoteric systems of the past that are still here today, the most ancient esoteric systems, so astrology being one of them, the symbol of a woman is Venus. And if you look at the symbol of Venus, it is a circle on a cross of matter. And the circle represents the spirit, and the cross of matter represents the spirit coming into the world. So women are a portal of spirit to come through down here on earth, whether that be your child, whether that be your career, wherever it might be, making a home, whatever it is, you are a creative portal to bring spirit down here on earth. It's the same with the tarot. If you look at the card of the lovers, what you see is Adam looking at Eve, who is looking up to the heavens. She is being a connector. But it's been suppressed. We've been taught that those things are wrong. And it's been trodden on. It's been, if we look back through history, the word witch is condemned when all it means is wise woman. And witches were burnt at the stake for being nothing but supernatural, just connected to what their God-given right is. So in order to connect to our supernatural nature, the first thing that needs to happen is to work on our worth. So I want to just do a quick exercise with you guys to show you your own extraordinary power. So you'll need a paper and a pen, or you can pop it in your phone. And what I would like you to do is to think about a time when you wanted something to happen and it happened. And now I want you to think on a scale of 1 to 10, before it happened, how much could you believe that it was happening? It was going to happen. Where was your belief? 10 being, I completely believed that. I have complete conviction. And then, how much could you imagine it happening on a scale of 1 to 10? Just jot down that number. 10 being, I could see it, touch it, taste it, smell it. And then the next one is, how much were you allowing it to happen? And allowance is very much to do with how worthy we feel. So if you struggle with, oh, I don't know how much I was allowing it, just think, how worthy were you feeling about that happening? How much could you allow it? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, I felt completely worthy. And now I'd like you to think of a time when you wanted something to happen and it didn't happen. Okay, I'm going to run through this really quickly because I'm being given the tea. So you do the same process, basically. I'll leave you with the process, okay? So you do the same for what didn't happen but you wanted to happen. And then you run through the same again, imagination, belief, and allowance for something that you want to happen now that hasn't happened yet. And when you have those scores, what happens is you can start to see from the thing that did happen to the thing that didn't happen, measuring what you want to happen now, you can start to see how far away you are from manifesting that and what it is that you want to work on or need to work on. Quite often, it's your own self-worth. Thank you very much.
Well, I believe that talking about the extraordinary in all of us has been really insightful and most worthwhile. We had Know Your Value. We had being a voice for other women. Hallelujah. We had being pretty, pardon me? Being pretty amazing. And own your own superpower, your supernatural extraordinary power, and I think that all these women are pretty extraordinary, as are you. So thank you for being here and sharing this with us. Do we have time for a Q&A? We have a couple minutes for questions? Okay, so if there's anyone that has a question for any of these lovely, late, extraordinary women, put your hand up. They've got some pretty extraordinary lives, so if there's something that you want to know about any one of us, feel free to ask. Somebody, no?
Hi ladies.
Somebody at the back?
That was awesome. Thank you so much. I have a question for you. I sort of understand where you're coming from a lot, and I was wondering what you thought about synchronicities in numbers, where you keep constantly seeing numbers over and over again, patterns of numbers, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and escalating. Do you know anything about that?
Thank you. I really resonate with what you're saying. When I flew in yesterday, my plane arrived at 4:44 UK time, and I arrived at the hotel at 11:44 in room 444. And I used to see 111. So much so, I wrote a book about it. And that book is The Transformational Truth of You. So I see 111 as the activator of your path. And it seems as if it goes up, number by number, which is basically a reflection of your path and how far along you are. It just, to me, means that you're going up another level and another level and another level. Yeah, so hopefully that's helpful, but I'd love to speak to you on a one-to-one basis. Thank you.
We'll take one